Bless you all.
And I built one of those services. If you really think about what you're doing when you're posting that, it's not just reaching your audience, you're actually doing work for that company for free. Every time you hit the heart, every time you like a post, every time you retweet something, that's a signal to an algorithm, which then takes that and a bunch of other variables and uses that as a way to push into someone else's feed. And all of these algorithms predominantly are only focused on increasing the number of impressions. And the reason why is because that increases the number of advertising revenue for them. It has nothing to do with you. If you just observe a little bit and you watch someone on their phone, and there's a bunch of you on the phone in the downtime and you have Instagram open, you have Twitter open, X, you actually just watch them and they're scrolling, tap, tap, scrolling, tap, tap, scrolling, tap, tap. That company has successfully made you an employee without paying you a thing. And if we value what we believe is the value of these services, which is to broadcast to the world our information, our lessons, our learnings, our stories to someone that's going to care about it, we need to own that protocol layer. That protocol layer needs to be permissionless. I should not have to ask Google on whether to build a feature or not. I should not be reliant upon Google's algorithm to tell me what I should pay attention to, because they're programming you. And they can change that algorithm at any point and program you in a different way. And they have in the past, and they will continue to do so. So do you want to live in that world? Do you want to continue to give it your attention? Do you want to continue to work for free? Or do you want to own something where you can build on top of it and you can control the media, you can control your story, you can control your narrative, along with all the other people that are interested in unleashing themselves from this dynamic that we've created and that we've been trapped into. So I can't think of anything more exciting than the fact that we have money that's completely permissionless, exchange of value, and we have now social media and generally media which is completely permissionless, which is another exchange of value. There's another big thing coming. It's on the horizon. We're hearing a lot about it right now, which is artificial intelligence. And you're seeing that it's not just the money that was centralized, it's not just the media that has been centralized, but now intelligence is centralized. All of the collective intelligence of the people around you, all the potential you have for learning and actually experimenting and sharing that knowledge. Do you want that intelligence to be locked up in 5 companies that are dictated by 5 CEOs that are not voted in, but that can determine, again, how you perceive intelligence, how you perceive the world, and actually what you do because you read those particular things? So decentralizing and making permissionless AI models, LLMs, agent systems, is something that we need to focus on. Everything that we're doing with Bitcoin, everything that we're doing with social media has to be applied to this new model, which is intelligence. And if it's not, then again, you are the product. You are doing free work for these models, and you will be displaced. Your contribution will become irrelevant. And that scares me the most. Yet, we have proven over the past 16 years with Bitcoin that another model exists. The whole world values. Some of the biggest companies in the world, Wall Street, BlackRock, actually values. And they didn't choose to get in immediately. They got in because they had to, because the people kept developing it, and this thing is not going away, and it gets stronger and stronger and stronger. And we have the potential, everyone in this room, if you make the decision, I'm not going to contribute purely to corporate media or corporate intelligence or corporate money anymore. I'm going to do the hard thing, and it's extremely challenging right now because it's not accessible, it's not usable, but I'm gonna do the work, I'm gonna learn it, I'm gonna teach it, and sacrifice my time and energy to do something that's hard at the moment, because if I do so, it compounds and more people can use it, and it becomes more the standard. So it's really important that we make that decision and that we potentially remove these apps from our lives. We at least bias towards other solutions that the people actually own, that no one company, no one government can corrupt or change the direction of, and that we can, just because we built something that people value and people go that direction, and another someone builds something of different value, and people can find it there. So that's the important thing about all these technologies. Sorry my answer was so long, but I had to get all that out. It's exciting. Like, it just keeps getting better and better and better and stronger and stronger and stronger. And it's because of all the people in this room that decided to come all the way here, show up, listen, speak, teach, learn, and most importantly, leave this conference with all this knowledge and spread it, and not as a religion, but spread it as a tool that you can use today.
Okay, so Jack really lays it out, the power of permissionless systems and the urgent need to take control back from centralized giants. It's about owning the protocols that shape our money, our media, and even the intelligence we rely on. Up next, Vince Lanci breaks down the two camps battling over Bitcoin's future, the store of value believers versus the peer-to-peer currency idealists. Let's hear what he has to say, Crypto Crew.
If you look at the two aspects of money, medium of exchange, so currency and store of value, that's how they broke gold. They split it. I'm a fan of Jack Dorsey for saying it this way. Okay, so I'm a fan of him because I recognize that too much, let's say that I like both perspectives, too much of the Michael Saylor perspective is not good. You need to have it circulating. Bitcoin's going to become a China closet item unless it circulates. I believe that unless it circulates, it will get enveloped and ring-fenced to such an extent by the Western, specifically the US, regulatory and liquidity pool that it will become branded. And if it becomes branded, its chance of circulating decrease or slow. And within that branding, and I use the word ring fencing of Bitcoin's value and wrapping in a security and regulating it. There are benefits to that too, but when you do that, you just make it another security. And that's what's going to happen. Now, the question is, economically speaking, everyone has a price that they throw that away. And some people's prices are higher than others. And those people will stand tall. I own Bitcoin, right? So how much higher does Bitcoin have to go for me to say I want it to be a currency, which is what Jack wants? Well, maybe $2 million. And I'll be like, all right, you know what? I'll sell out. Everyone's going to sell out for a price. Time is on the side of the incumbent dollar. If you can slow down adoption, if you can make it a regional currency, which is kind of what's happening now slowly, and if you can make it susceptible to American regulatory rules, all for the sake of protecting the investor, it's going to grow, but it's going to be a hothouse flower. That's a risk for buying into the Saylor thing too much. And Michael Saylor is a genius. He has already sold out. He's not sold out on Bitcoin. He's sold out on what Bitcoin needs to be. And so he's store of value. And there's a Venn diagram. And the store of value diagram makes his company bigger. And I'm like, what's Bitcoin? Well, Bitcoin is technically not a security. But didn't they just make it a security? Meaning Bitcoin is not a security, but the thing that it's in is a security. And that's what they did with gold. I'm a fan of what Jack's doing. I do recognize there's a lot of pitfalls in that. So, for example, Saylor's saying, let the institutions adopt it, and maybe the Trojan horse thing will come, but it doesn't matter. We're still going to get paid a lot of money. Idealist, Jack is saying, in my opinion, he's saying, look, we need to have this liquid. It needs to be free-flowing. It will help whole continents. And you know what? That's great. That's idealist. If you use that to make it a currency, the purist in me says, yeah, but you're limited. Know your customer. You can only do $50,000. You're limited. It's very narrow. You're still going through the institutions, right? And so if I were to throw that at Jack, I wouldn't. Someone else did. His response is, we're doing the best we can within the thing we have, which is what everyone says. And I'm not making light of it. I believe as long as Jack is involved, it will proceed to expand on that path. But I'm going to say that everyone has a price that they're bought out at.
Crypto Crew, here's where Kaspa steps in. With his lightning-fast block DAC tech, Kaspa delivers the speed and decentralization that Jack dreams of while keeping Bitcoin's value circulating as Vince insists. Kas is permissionless, scalable, and built for the people by the people, not institutions. Kaspa could be the bridge between idealism and practicality in crypto. It's a bold answer to the big questions Jack Dorsey and Vince Lanci raised. Fast, decentralized, and permissionless, as Kaspa empowers us to own our money and media without compromise. By the end of 2025, K-Social was launched on the Kaspa network, which is a decentralized version of social media, just as an example. So if you're excited about a future where crypto truly serves the people, Kaspa deserves your attention. More Kas in a vid near you, Crypto Crew.
The rate cut will be HODL your Kaspa.
By the way, if you're looking for a pro Kaspa exchange, check out Blowfin, which offers